Guys, check this out. We finally got some Ferrari parts.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we are finally back on our Ferrari 458 Spider. As you guys know, we have been waiting on parts for several weeks now, but we finally got a box of parts in right here from Fur Parts. This has to be probably one of the hardest cars to get parts from other than the Viper, but we know we do have some front frame rail structure pieces in here. We just don't know exactly what it is. So let's go ahead, grab this box right here and start cracking it open because we are super excited to start piecing this thing back together.
Let's do it, man. We got Fur Parts here. They got parts for Maserati, Lamborghini, and Ferrari. So guys,
if you got a Ferrari or a Maserati, man,
and you need some parts, these are the guys to go to. There's their website. Definitely check them out.
Ooh.
Let me help you out there. Dang, nicely packaged. I love it.
Dude, I see some pages. This is getting exciting.
That is what I'm talking about.
How do we pull this out?
These are the radiator cages?
I think, here's our front frame rails, dude.
Dang,
dude,
those are sick, dude.
I want to go ahead and crack this open. I want to see exactly what it looks like.
For sure.
See, this is what we were trying to get at last time. We thought we had to cut it and drill it out and it stays with the car, but actually it's already on the frame rail. We had to look it up to see what was going on. And then after we found out that it stays on there, we just cut them suckers clean off. But dude, check that out. That is
awesome.
One straight frame rail.
It better be.
All right,
That's
what else is in here, dude? This is exciting. Exciting stuff for the Ferrari. Nicely packaged. Once again, got all types of packaging. Oh,
is that the other? Oh, that's the actual front rebar there. Pull this cage out.
Oh, that's big. That's a big cage. All right, here, let's grab this. Another frame rail. Oh, very tightly packaged.
Packed like Jenga in there.
Let me just get at the box a little bit.
There you go.
This is our front rebar. Dude. That is sick. I'm gonna go ahead and crack this one open as well. I want to check everything 100%. Make sure it's not.
Well, this stuff is brand new.
Make sure it's not for like a
Maserati.
Dang,
look at them beads on the back of that though.
The beads are nice.
Couple dimes.
Might have to do the same thing.
Those welds look better than the welds that are actually on the Ferrari. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I think their parts welds are better than the Ferrari welds.
Front rebar. I think that's left or right rail right there, but we're gonna go ahead and pull out these radiator cages, or go ahead and get that rail.
One more rail.
Man, look at these, man. I'm just so surprised of how these welds are so much better than the actual ones that were on the original car. You know what I mean?
Like I said, the parts department probably welds better than the actual manufacturers.
Yeah. Go ahead and pull them both out. Or this is one. Dang!
Is that one? No, that's two.
Oh, it's two? I was wondering. I was like, what the heck? Go ahead and set that on the ground.
Just zip tied together.
I think that's it. This is all packing stuff. So that is awesome, guys. This is all we needed right here to pretty much start tacking it in. And but before we can tack this in, we do need some body panels, right? Huh? We do need body panels before we can tack this stuff in. That way we can align everything and then tack it in before we fully weld it.
Put the front frame rails in, tack them in, tack the rebar, tack these cages in. Then once we tack everything, tic-tac-toe that stuff, then we're gonna throw the body panels on, like the hood, the fenders, everything. Make sure everything's 100% aligned. Maybe pull some stuff if we need to. And then once that is 100% aligned, then you do the all welding and stuff like that. But frame rail right here, there. I don't see how. Does this say front left or right?
You'll know automatically. It's the way it's angled. Dang, dude. That's so awesome.
And you basically put it already. The thing is about this is this surface right here is perfectly flat, and this is already angled to how it needs to sit. So you're basically just setting it down flat and then pushing it flat. So it's simple, right?
So really you can't, it won't be misaligned, honestly.
I mean,
it could be a slight hair.
Yeah, it won't be aligned by a crazy amount. I mean, everything's adjustable like fenders and stuff like that, but you can't really go like super bad off like this or like that, you know what I mean? Because everything sits perfectly. But
so we can't weld this in until we get some body panels, right?
Yeah, it can't. I mean, you necessarily can tack it in, but
there's really no point until we get everything.
Yeah, there's really no point unless you just want to go ahead and tack it in and have everything tacked in sitting up front.
Alrighty guys, so we were actually thinking we might as well go ahead and tack these frame rails in because there's not much adjustment and they'll just fall right into place. But before we do so, we do need to grind all these welds down so everything goes smoothly, but we do need a die grinder and we don't have one, so let's run to the local Harbor Freight and pick one up.
All right, here we are. We're gonna pick one of these out and get the best one possible, because you know these only last a couple days, right?
Yeah, they only last a couple days, but I don't think they got the good one here, so we may have to just go with some of this air angle. Oh, that's a drill.
Yeah, we just need a die grinder. We'll figure it out, and then we're gonna head back. I don't know where. We might have to go somewhere else. We'll see.
May have to. All right, guys, so we actually ran to O'Reilly's as well to grab some grinding discs. And what I'm talking about grinding discs is there's these tiny little grinding discs that will just smooth out that weld really nice and smooth to its original spot. And we just got the adapter plate for our die grinder, so we are ready to go. So we'll catch you guys back at the house.
All right, so we are finally back with our supplies. We got our die grinder, we got our die grinding discs right here. Hopefully there's enough to sand all this and make it nice and smooth. We also went ahead and picked up the socket set because you know we always lose them, especially that 10 right there. But before we start grinding, there is something very important that we need to do, is actually grab this airbag cover and take it to the post office and ship it off to Fur Parts for them to rebuild it. So let's go ahead and do that right quick, and then we'll get to work on the front end there. Alright guys, so we just dropped off the package. Man, that's the most I've ever paid for shipping, $429.80, but it's gonna get there the next day. So we gotta do that because kind of on a tight schedule, but it's alright guys. Let's get back to the house and get straight to work.
Alright guys, so we are back. We're gonna back this thing up a little bit and then get straight to work. So I went ahead and grinded the entire side over here on the driver's side of the car. Everything grinded down pretty smooth. I did have to break out the bigger grinder for the thicker welds, but I did go ahead and put this up to it, and it seems to be fitting just perfect. As you can see right there, it goes back in its original spot. And that's probably where we're gonna tack it, is as soon as we grind both sides down, we're gonna make sure everything's nice and smooth, no welds getting in the way, so that bar is just lining up perfectly up against that back part of this frame rail. So everything should be good, dude. Everything's going super smooth. Now we're gonna move on to this passenger side and grind it down as well. Alrighty guys, so we are putting these frame rails as straight as possible, and what we're doing, we actually brought our old frame rails out here because we are reusing some of these brackets right here. Actually, these brackets are very hard to get, so we're gonna have to reuse them. One of them is actually, where's it at? Right here. One of them is actually pretty bent, but not too bad. We can easily straighten that out. So what we're gonna do right now is actually drill this one out, cut it off, install it back in its original spot on this driver's side, and then we're gonna straighten this one out and throw it on that passenger side. Alrighty guys, so we tacked this one rail in, everything is straight as possible. In that lower bracket, we actually went ahead and knocked it off because there is actually a big bead that goes right along the bottom side of it, and that's just for support for this rail. We'll weld that in probably the last thing, but we got this rail in as straight as we possibly can. I mean that's as straight as we can go right there. But anyways, we're gonna jump on this side now and try to get this one as straight as possible. And once we get both of them as straight as we possibly can, we're gonna go ahead and throw the front rebar on, and we should be good to go.
Right now we're just pretty much tacking them, so we will be able to have adjustments later, right? If we need so.
Yeah, we just tack them in, one tack everywhere, all the way around, just in case whenever we're gonna, after we tack everything, we're gonna throw all the parts on, the hood, the fenders, everything, and then align everything once again, make sure all the gaps are 100%, and once we do that and everything is 100% checks out, we're gonna go and literally just weld completely back in its original spots, weld all the way around this rail, and we should be good to go. But we are still far from that stage, but we are closing in, so let's go ahead and throw this one frame rail on.
Man, dude, this thing looks freaking crazy, dude.
It's getting longer in the front.
I know, right?
We just did tack this one in, as you can tell, perfectly straight both ways. But I did notice, I was trying to see how much pressure this thing can take without breaking my welds, which really strong.
Dang, hold on, let me stand back. Let me do that again. Oh, I thought you just broke it. I was like, dang.
I mean, just the tacks, as you can see, just tack welding is super strong, but definitely not strong enough for any impact. We're gonna have to definitely weld all the way around it. But I did notice, I'm just moving it around like this side to side, and this whole entire aluminum structure piece that's super thick actually bends a little bit, which is super crazy. See what I mean? I'm moving it around. And this whole entire piece.
You can see it a slight bit.
Yeah, very slight bit. I don't know if the camera will catch it, but it does move to the eye. But it's that's crazy.
But that's why you throw on that front rebar, and then it kind of even makes the structure even stronger.
Definitely. So the rebar is going to go on next. Throw it on there. It does go on with rivets. You drill them out. So we're probably going to do the one rivet first, because it's better to throw a rivet on than weld it, because you know what I mean. It's better to cut a rivet off than cut some welds off.
For sure.
So we're gonna probably slap this bad boy on here for now.
Let's do that right quick. Also don't want to drill a hole in the wrong spot though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you just gotta be careful. I've seen that some of these kind of got a little bit bent.
Which is bound to happen. I mean, it's aluminum. This stuff is brittle.
So we're gonna have to bend out a few things. Not a big deal.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure this out. This is kind of gonna have to be almost stretched on there a little bit, somewhat, right?
Something like that. Well, we're about to get it, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Close.
This thing is getting a lot longer, like he said. Super short, like a snub nose right there. But now, it's getting there. So yeah, let's try to put that on, and then we'll move from there.
Alright guys, so we finally got this rebar on. It was actually a really tight fit. We had to re-tack one of the rails on this side because one of the tack welds actually cracked. So what we're gonna do is not move any further on this. We're gonna actually get a tram gauge out here and make sure we measure the square of this whole entire frame rail system before we even start doing any more welds. So we're gonna leave that as it is right now. It looks really good with that leveling,
The level.
Yeah, with the level, everything levels out perfect, but you never can trust just that. You're gonna need a tram gauge to make sure everything is 100%. So right now, it is super dark out here. We worked all day today, so we're gonna have to call it a night and catch you guys in the morning. Alrighty guys, so it is the next day here, and we're not gonna be doing any more tack welding in today. We're just gonna do the front frame rails for now. And the reason why is because we've been looking around on our old frame rails that we have right here, and we're actually finding out there's actually a few more pieces that we need to put an order in before we do any type of lining or welding. As you can tell, this one piece right here, it literally does not come with a new frame rail. That's kind of weird because
Frame
it is
cage.
frame
cage. That's called a cage. That's
the radiator. The radiator.
Radiator. That's what it's called.
Yeah, the radiator cage. So we're gonna need to probably put an order in on just the passenger side. I'm pretty sure we can salvage this one on the driver's side. We'll just cut it off nice and re-weld it.
Where is our other one that's mangled?
I mean, it's in pieces. It's
no, it's right here. Look.
Oh.
Bam. That's that piece right there.
Yeah, it's
probably cannot
off.
save that right there.
Yeah, it's definitely ripped off, as well as this one strut bracket right here. If they can see that, that actually welds to right here on the new frame rail and goes straight up, as you can tell, to the actual rebar itself and gets all welded in. So we're gonna definitely need those before we actually tack them in. And these pieces right here, they look like they're good. Hopefully they are. It looks like it got bent right on the end of it. So maybe we can salvage both of these pieces. This is basically what the bumper screws onto and what the whole entire hood closes down and everything else. So we're gonna go ahead and remove everything that we need off our old frame rails that we're gonna use on our new frame rails.
So we just installed those two brackets right there. Also removed these two pieces, got them grinded up, and they're gonna be ready to get welded in when it is time. But for now, that's all we can do until we get a tram gauge and actually some body panels, really. We need a hood, we need a front bumper, and we need to also take off these fenders and make sure those brackets didn't get snapped off on the inside there. Because I believe they're kind of off, right?
Yeah, they are a little bit off because of these fenders.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
It's right there.
This aluminum is so brittle, it just cracks, man. There's
just a slight movement and it'll crack right off. So that's just aluminum for you right there, man.
That is, man. That's just how it's part of it right there. We're working with it. We are gonna get it done, but that's probably gonna be a wrap for today's video. We have been planning something, working on something behind the scenes for you guys. It's actually gonna be the next video, so stay tuned for that. Make sure your post notifications are on so you don't miss out on anything. We got a ton of Ferrari parts on the way, but now we know we do need a few more little things to get these frame rails 100% in their position. But as more Ferrari parts come in, there's gonna be more Ferrari videos, so stay tuned, guys. Be sure to follow us on Instagram where you can get an inside scoop there before YouTube. And if you want to support your boys, be sure to visit goonzquad.com and copy some merch. So thank you guys for all the love and support. Be sure to drop your comments down below and we'll catch you next time. Peace.